Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at pop filters and if they're necessary for streaming and recording video. So yeah, this is a question that's asked a lot recently. They're kind of a confusing piece of kit because people aren't sure what they do and all streamers seem to have them. So I'll explain a little bit of how they work, why they work, and then the few alternatives that are available. And I'll test those on my Blue Snowball mic here, this one. As you can see, I'm using a pop filter right now. We'll see how they work. We'll just do a few different varieties. There's some homemade options in there too. So basically what they do is they reduce popping sounds from the mechanical impact of fast moving air moving into the microphone, which sort of brings up the first point. If your mic's not that close to your mouth, you're less likely to need one, and that would alleviate that sound a bit more anyway. So if I put the mic here, the pop filter's a bit more effective. It should be dampening that p sound, as you hear me saying pop filter or popping, but if it's a bit further away, it has less of a difference anyway. That shouldn't have as much of an impact because that bad sound is produced by air actually going into the mic and impacting the mic diaphragm and therefore creating that horrible sound. So what a pop filter is made of is, so if we look at the one that's here, it's a plastic layer around the edge, and then this is one or multiple layers of nylon in the middle. So the one I've got here that's from Amazon, it's a relatively cheap one. It's about 2 layers of nylon. There are also metal pop filters, which are like a mesh layer of metal over them. And then there are some homemade options, such as you can use socks or nylon tights. The other thing that they do, which is kind of gross, is that they can increase the lifespan of your mic. And the way that they do that is actually, if you're talking like this into your mic often, then naturally there's gonna be some saliva that escapes your mouth, and if that builds up inside the microphone, it's actually slightly acidic, and it can destroy the inside of the microphone. Obviously you'd have to be talking like this, and you'd have to be talking for a long time. I think it's probably more of an issue with singing mics, but yeah, it could have an effect on the lifespan of your mic. So you can improvise a pop filter fairly easily, or you could just buy a cheap one from Amazon. It depends what you want to do and whether or not your mic is on camera, whether people can see that. One of the common methods of doing this is to put a sock over the microphone, but I have actually heard that if you put a sock on, say like the Blue Snowball here, because it's in physical contact with the microphone, you still might get vibrations transferred to the actual diaphragm itself, and you still may hear that horrible P sound, the horrible P, the horrible sort of pop noise you get when I say P. Say something with the letter P. So the other way you can do that is you can mount a sock or a piece of nylon on, say, a clothes hanger, attach it to there and put it in front, and then if you're just doing voiceover, that should easily be enough. The aesthetics are fine, and then you can upgrade when you have a bit more money, or never really. So what we're going to do is we're going to test out a few different options. I'm going to try them with a pop filter, without a pop filter, a sock on the mic, and a sock in front of the mic. I'm going to use that famous Peter Piper tongue twister. So without further ado, let's get into them. Okay, so this is with a pop filter. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Okay, and now this is without a pop filter. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Okay, so this is a little addendum to the video. So this is without a pop filter, but I'm a little bit further away because the first time I did it, I think I was a little bit close. So let's see how this looks. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So from that second one, I think you can really see how the distance really makes a difference. So when I speak and I say the letter P, it's from the impact of the air. So from a bit further away, you can see that a pop filter is far less necessary. Okay, now let's try with a sock on the microphone. Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. Messed up the tongue twister a bit there. Okay, so what I'm doing now is stretching a sock in front of the microphone. This is simulating what you could do with a coat hanger. I just can't be bothered to get a coat hanger and set it up, but this should have the same effect as if it was stretched there. I'm stretching it taut like this, which you could do with a coat hanger. You might need a slightly larger sock, but this one should block the mic effectively. So here we go with the tongue twister. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Okay, so now I'm going to have a look at them all and see what I think, but I will include them all in the video for you to have a look at and see exactly what you think, and then I'll give my conclusion. Okay, so I've watched through all of those. You can make your own opinions, but I think that the pop filter and stretching a sock in front of the pop filter were actually more or less indistinguishable. They definitely reduced that annoying sound quite a lot. So if you don't want to buy a pop filter, you can definitely just use that method. There was still a difference between no pop filter and having a sock over it. It definitely reduced it a bit, but not enough. It still sounded kind of bad. If you're going to be recording voiceover or streaming, I would mount the sock in front of it if that's the method you're going to do, or just buy one of these from Amazon. I'll link the one that I used, although I'm not necessarily endorsing this one. This was just a cheap one that is available at the time. If I'm honest, to my ear, perhaps the sock in front of it sounded a bit better. It's just aesthetically looks worse, so it's really up to you guys for what you think is best. And that's it. I hope you found this video informative. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to do more sort of tech videos, deep dives, just interesting tech questions that would interest me. We've got some more retro content coming soon in terms of Game Boy stuff. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.